Hello and good morning. So apparently we've been in June a long time in Scotland, but we're now moving into July and it's the 20th of July today. So today we're going to do some stretches on the floor, and you need to have like your wobble cushion if you have one, or if you've got one of these little balls, they're even more challenging, which would be great. Otherwise, you can just use a block, a yoga block, or maybe 2 yoga blocks. So just something to raise yourself up. You'll see that in a moment. And also we're going to have a chair. It can be a sturdy kitchen chair, or if you're using like an armchair, you want something that you can get your legs underneath for later on. So since we're all at home, we might as well make use of our furniture since we haven't got a yoga studio to work in. All right, so let's just start off then, coming onto the floor. And if we have what we're going to sit on nearby, the best way to do it is to first of all get yourself onto the floor. And some of you will find that you'll need something for under your head. So once you lie on the floor, just have a check to see what your head's doing. If you find that your head is tilting backwards and the neck is rounding, then you just need to put something under your head so you can get a nice long line in the back of the neck. And that the chin, instead of sticking up, is connecting with the chest. So it's like a perpendicular to the floor, I guess. Okay, and then just push up and either pop up onto your wobble cushion, or in my case, I'm going to just use this little ball, which isn't blowing up too much. So, or you can, as I say, come up on a couple of blocks. So now check that your feet are hip distance and we're tucking our shoulders under. So make sure that you're not doing this kind of position. You want to really tuck under. And if you find it quite hard to get tucked under, then this also is where it helps to have something under your head, because it gives you a bit of space to get these shoulders rolling back and down. And then next, we're just going to think about the back of the waist. Check that we're not sticking the ribs up, but we're letting our rib cage settle towards the spine. So we're not flattening the back onto the floor, but neither are we arching it. We want to find the midpoint between that. Okay, and then let's just take our right knee and hug the right knee to the chest, squeezing it in, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So really squeeze, and we'll change side, placing that foot carefully, and then squeeze that left knee. So the right knee points to the ceiling. Lovely, and then just place that foot back down, and then we're going to catch around the outside edge of your thigh. Now if that's far away or you can't quite reach it, don't forget you can use your belt, and then we are just going to make circles with our foot, keeping the shoulders tucking under, big a circle as you can. Changing direction. Lovely, and then let's change foot, catch around the left foot, and off we go, circling. change direction. Lovely, and then down. Great, so keep your feet bent, check that you're comfortable with the height that you're on. If you're too high, if you're on 2 blocks and you're feeling a little bit too high, you can come down, just adjust it. Bringing our arms up, reaching up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale. Reach up and reach up and down, reach up and down. Take the arms out to the side, roll your shoulders back and down, exhale. Elbows onto the floor, inhale up. Elbows onto the floor, inhale up. So it's a bit like you're rowing. See if you can involve your chest as you bring your elbows down. Hazel, involve your chest. Feel that broadening across the front of your sternum. Take your elbows a wee bit lower, Hazel. And activate from the chest. Feel the core working. Shoulders down. Shoulders down. Think about this movement and originating from the core up into the chest, and the arms are just the afterthought. Lovely. And then keep the elbows where they are. See if you can take the backs of the hands on the floor. And then close, reach up. Shoulders away from the ears, elbows down, backs of the hands on the floor. Reach down. Yeah. Think about actively rolling the shoulders back and down, so you're feeling a broadening across the front of the chest, and the shoulder blades are beginning to squeeze together. Okay, and then release. Let's try that another way to make sure you're all getting the right activation. So imagine that you're holding on to like a strong piece of roped elastic, and what you're wanting to do is stretch it and pull it down, but it's very, very resistant. So you're kind of pulling something down. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And then now it goes up. And now you're pulling it down really hard. It's quite hard to do. Good. Notice how you have to use this area. Yeah. And again, pulling down. See if you can feel your pelvic floor activating too. And then pulling down. Okay, and then let go. And now open. Take the backs of the hands on the floor. Good. And then pull down, open, take the backs of the hands down. So you might feel a bit of a stretch going on in the arms. Lovely. And then release. Okay. Now from there, I want you just to take the right knee, and we're going to straighten that left leg so it comes off the floor, and then floating up. Exhale down. Float up. So we're just again waking up our core area. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Okay, this time we'll do it on the other side. So we're holding the left knee, straighten out the right leg, floating up and down. So you can flex and point the foot if you like. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. You can change. Flex up, point down, point up, flex down, flex up, and down, right up, flex down. Keeping that core activated. Very nice, Kirsten. So you might feel that on the top of the thigh as well, the front of the thigh. Nice straight leg. Good. And then release. Great. Bending the knees. Now, this time what I'd like you to try is see if you can just have both legs lifted with the knees above the hips. And then we're going to just lift our heels so the heels come in line with the knees. Now, if you find that that's a bit hard for you to do without sticking your tummy out, then just put one leg down and do this with one leg. If you can manage with both legs. I'm going to show you with both legs first, so we're going to stretch out one leg and then back, stretch out the other leg and then back, one leg and back. If you're doing it with one foot on the floor, you're just going to do it one leg at a time. So stretch and back, using the core, drawing your belly in and up. Okay. Sorry, what are we doing? That's it. Scissors. Okay, now, if you're doing a one leg version, then change the leg that you're using. And noticing how that wobble cushion is just giving that little extra bit of work to do, because you're having to make sure that you stay balanced. So hopefully what you're feeling is that lower abdomen drawing in and up. Keep going. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Let's go to 10, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. Really press the point the toe away. 9, 9, 10, 10. Lovely. And then just hug the knees to the chest. So yeah, we'll just have a little stretch. You can take your feet down one at a time and then just stretch along your mat. It's a slight little back arch we're doing because we've got our hips raised up. Lovely. And then pulling just the right knee towards you. Let's have a stretch just along the left side. Allow your left heel just to be slightly off the floor. So we're doing a little balance here to get that stretch. Bringing that right knee closer in if you can. Scooping and hollowing. Really lengthening through the hand, through the foot of your left side. And we'll change direction. Holding that left knee. Stretch the right side. So if you can really feel the stretch through the front of the thigh of that right side. And you might find that your arm needs to be slightly off the floor in order to keep your shoulder down. Stay active in the core. Squeezing that knee closer if you can. Rolling your shoulders back and down. Breathing. Breathing. Lovely. And release. Great. Okay. Now, again, bring your knees above your hips. So if you find that it's harder work to do that, you can just bring your knees slightly forward and it takes the pressure off your core. If you're happy, you can have your knees more over the hips, which is beginning to activate your core more. Okay, and then we're going to bring our heels up a little bit and then exhale, open out, inhale, close. Exhale, open out, inhale, close. Now, if that's a bit tough for you to do, then you can put one foot back on the floor and just exhale, open out on one side. Inhale, close. If you're happy, or you can do it with the other side. Doing it one side, but if you're happy with both sides, off we go. Now, lovely, and change the side that you're doing. If you're doing it with one leg, just change the leg. Those of you doing it with both legs, can you stretch your legs now? And we'll do the same thing with wide legs. If you're doing it with one leg, you can just, again, you can try just straightening your leg and doing it with one leg. Inhale to come back. Exhale to open. Inhale back. Use your core. Open. Inhale back. Exhale. So if you're using one side, swap sides back again to the other side. Lovely, and release, and then bend your knees, and then bring one foot and then the other onto the floor. So staying raised up, catch your right foot. Now if you can do it with your hand, then great, but otherwise you can just use your belt and hold with your belt. You're going to take that right knee toward your armpit, so you want your knee as close to your body as you can. Then see if you've got any stretch. See if you can send the heel away. So you're going to feel that in the hamstring. So it doesn't matter if your knee's not straight. It means that you're getting the right, you're targeting the right area. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Breathing. So you want your knee as close to the chest as you can manage. Good. Breathing. And then keeping that leg there, just can straighten your other leg to give an extra stretch. So feel that, sending that to left leg away. Keep that right knee close to your chest. Breathing. Breathing. Let's do a few more breaths. Nice, and then release. Okay, so bringing our right knee down, left knee close to your chest, catching inside. If you can catch around your instep. Otherwise, use your belt. But even if you're using your belt, keep your knee close to your chest, and then straighten as much as you can. Now, you're not going to be able to have a straight leg. That's absolutely fine. But think about sending the heel away, and you'll feel that stretch coming in the back of the leg. And then we can straighten out that right leg. Breathing, really long right leg. Keeping that knee close towards the armpit. Lovely, and then release. One foot down, then the other. Okay, so before we just readjust, check you're in a good position. Before we leave our wobble cushion, I'm just going to do another one. Now, again, if you find when you lift your knees that your tummy domes and you can't maintain the core, then just do this with one leg. Because what we're going to do is bring the knees over the hips, straighten the legs, and we're going to make circles. So this is quite challenging, and if you want to challenge yourself more, you're dropping the heels away. So you can do this with bent knees and just make circles with your knees like this, with your knees bent. So just do the straight leg version if you feel, if you can get a nice action with that. Your wobble cushion helps you because you're getting some bounce with it. Right, we're changing the direction. And remember, you can do this with bent knees. Bringing the legs as forward as you can, out to the side, down. Lovely. And then if you're doing it with bent knees, you can get a really good action as well. Lovely. And then last one. Great. And then just hug the knees to the chest. Okay, now from there, some of you might have to readjust where you are, but I've got my chair right behind me. So what I'm going to do is attempt to get my feet onto the chair, and the way that we can do that is using, if I convert to the wobble cushion. So if you've got the wobble cushion under your hips, just move it so it comes under your back, and then you can hold the chair. So you've got a little bit of help to get your feet up. See if you can do that. So if you move your wobble cushion up a bit higher. Before you do that, make sure that you've got nothing under your head. So just take away anything you've got under your head. You want your head to be on the floor. So this is like a very supportive halasana. So you're not straining your body really, but you're getting some of the benefit of being upside down. If you find it easy, you can try and go more. But don't be in a rush to do that, because we've not really prepared that pose. But just get the feet on the chair, beautiful. See if you can tuck your toes under and stretch your heels away so you're getting that stretch all the way up the legs. And otherwise, if you're not going all the way back to your chair, just do what you can by having your wobble cushion further up your back and just have the legs up in the air. Breathing. So you're stretching the heels together. Check that your inner ankles are in line. Quite a strong stretch through the leg. Lovely. Now, if you actually find that okay, you can take your hands on your wobble cushion, see if you can hike it further up to support you to go a little bit further. And then if you can, some of you can get your knees onto the chair. Just go to whatever level works for you. Don't rush it. Don't put yourself into distress. If you can, work your hands up your back. And then some of you can have one foot onto the chair, one foot up in the air. And then one foot on the chair, the other foot on the chair, the other one up in the air. Really stretch through the bent leg, the leg that's on the chair. Make sure that you're tucking your toes under, stretching through the heel. And then if you like, you can have both legs up. Just hinge at the top of the leg. Take the legs wide. Bring right leg forward, left leg back. Stretching both legs wide. Take right leg back, left leg forward, just touching the chair. Come down if it's too much for you and have a rest. And then wide legs again. Take the soles of the feet together, halasana, rotating to one side. And to the other side. And then rotate back. Knees on the chair or feet on the chair again. See how high you can get onto the tops of your shoulders. Now take away anything under your back. And then we'll, under control, roll down. Take a moment. To relax, well done. And then we'll just swivel around and then bring the feet up on the chair, the calves on the chair. Just relax, take the arms wide. So it's just one way you can use furniture to help you, and when you've got the chair there, you know, you feel much more supported. I know I do. It makes you more inclined to give it a go because you know that you're not going to fall and you've got the chair to help you. So bring your bottom close in to your chair, tuck your shoulders under, and we'll just bring that right ankle in front of the left knee just to ease out any lower back issue. Or you can do this. Are you okay with this, Kirsten? It's start to slide that right ankle down towards your hip. Move that right knee towards your chair. So you're really getting into that stretch. The chair's helping you to keep a straight body, so your hips are in line with your shoulders. And then we're just letting that right knee go back, sliding that heel down. So in a sense, we're preparing for the lotus position, in fact, to get that hip into the right position. Really push that right knee back if you can. Breathing. Okay, and then relax that right leg. So we'll do the same on the other side. So take the left ankle in front, slide that left ankle down, and push the left knee back if that's okay for you. Keeping both hips evenly on the floor. And you're beginning to take that right knee back, that left knee back. You're going to feel that in that left buttock. Breathing. Yeah, I should say if you find that it works better for you if you've got something under your head when you do it, by all means have something under your head. So now what we're going to do is try doing it with both legs. So gripping onto our chair, we're going to cross our legs and then pull the chair towards us. So I've got my right knee crossed over my left knee, and then I'm trying to get that right knee back towards the chair. I'm holding onto the chair so that it's giving me that extra little stretch. So that's quite strong in that right glute. Keep our shoulders relaxed. So you're in a cross-legged position. So imagine that it's almost like you just changed the plane. If you imagine sitting on the floor with your legs crossed, you just kind of change the plane by dropping 90 degrees. And if you hold onto your chair and push it towards you, you're going to really feel that more strongly in that right glute. Breathing. Think about your navel. We're letting the navel move in the direction of the pubic bone. Breathing. Lovely. And then release. Okay, we'll do that on the other side. It really does help if you've got a chair, because then you can hold on to it, or you can put your belt around the chair and hold on to your belt if the chair's not if the chair's too far away. So this time we're going to bring the left foot in front, crossing our legs on the front of the chair and pulling the chair towards you. And just notice how you feel. One side might be much easier than the other side. So like I say, imagine that you're sitting really tall and you've got your legs crossed, but we've just flipped your body. Think about the navel moving towards the pubic bone, tucking the shoulders under, breathing. Nice, and then release. Great, okay, so from there we're going to move away from our chair and then rolling to one side, come up into sitting. So we're going to translate that move, what we've just been doing lying down. We're going to take that into sitting. So basically what we were doing, we were crossing our legs and we had our spine straight. So we're just going to do that facing into our chair. Now, if you would like to have some support under your hips, then to help you to come forward and do that. So we're facing our chair, we've got the right leg in front of the left leg and reaching up really tall. So from our hip bones, make the space between the hips and the tops of the ribs nice and low. And we're just going to relax forward onto the chair. Yeah, prop up on something, Hazel. Can you lift your hips up a wee bit? Just, yeah, just, are you on your, yeah. So just somewhere, a nice position that you can relax, you can feel your knees are okay. If your knees, if one knee complains, you can support it. And if you find it's very easy to bend forward and you want to have a bit more of a stretch, then just move further away from your chair. So we're looking to have a lovely straight spine. Ideally, we want to feel that from the base of the spine, we're articulating through the spine. So we want to be as long as we can. Think of the sternum moving forward and slightly up, actually. Now, if you find it sitting cross-legged isn't really working for you, you can go into any other sitting position that works for you. You can try wide legs. Okay, let's change the direction of the cross now. So straightening the legs. And we'll take the left leg in front now. Sitting up lovely and tall. Lengthening from hip bone to the tops of the ribs. Sliding forward. And just notice where you feel that. You might feel it differently in each side. Nice, and then ease up. So you notice that I put a cushion under my knee. So there's a difference when you do go into these passive stretches. You find you have to sort of learn to distinguish between what's actually like pain and not very good for you, and what's you just softening into stretch and releasing, tension. So for me, because I've got a bit of a knee injury, I noticed as I was leaning forward that I was getting a sensation in my knee, but it didn't feel like one I could soften into. So then I just, by supporting it, that took that away, and then I could carry on with my stretch. And then where I did notice a sensation was in my left hip, but it was a sensation that I could breathe into and soften with. So there's two different things, and you do need to learn to distinguish it, because we're not about giving ourselves pain. Because if you work, especially with knees, because knees you have to be really, really respectful with. And the thing is, if you just push into the pain, that's probably going to do some damage. So you have to be quite, listen to your own body. Now we're going to straighten our legs. Let's have them wide, and we'll bring our chair close, and then we're just going to reach up really tall. Nice straight spine. So long legs. Now when you stretch your leg, see if you can stretch your heel away and have your toes pointing up to the ceiling. Make sure you're propped up on something to make that more possible. Sitting up, yeah, definitely sit up on something there, John. Lovely, that's nice, Hazel, beautiful. Breathing. And then if you feel like you can start to bring your tummy forward, you might be able to come forward a little bit more. Then lift your chest high as you can as you come forward. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing. Feel that strong in the legs. Nice, lovely, Kirsten. And then if you find that you've got more forward movement, you can take your chair further away. Working, so you're bringing your chest towards the chair and up, bring the sternum up. Let your neck be relaxed, so don't stick your chin in the air, let your chin be more towards your chest. Breathing. See if you can get the heels into the floor and get a sense of pushing with your heels. It's like you use the heels to get you perches, to bring you forward. So strong, you'll be feeling that strongly in the inner thighs. Breathing. And release. Good. So hopefully by using the support of the chair, you're not really having to work your upper body, so you can notice how you need to work your legs more. Because if you're having to do everything, then sometimes you miss what's going on in the legs. But I hope you can feel that that's quite strong in the inner thighs. Okay, so let's now bring our feet under our chair. So we've got straight legs. And then you can slide the chair forward so that you can catch nice straight spine. Beautiful. I've just got my toes in a good position under the chair, so I've got my toes tucked under, which gives me a nice stretch through the heels. So just start off as upright as you need to be, because for some people you're getting enough going on in the legs, you don't have any capacity to start to move your back. So it's just getting these legs woken up. We want to have the inner ankles lined up. You can use something to sit on just to wedge you forward. So we're looking to get height from the tops of from the hips up, get that height up through the abdomen. And then if you can gradually go forward. Sternum comes forward and also up. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And then if you feel You've got a little bit of slack, you can come forward a wee bit more. But come forward from the lower abdomen. It's like you're laying the lower abdomen onto the top of your thigh. Breathing. So what we're doing here is not so much going into our full pose, but we're educating the legs as to what they need to do in order to support our forward bend. Shoulders away from the ears, bringing the sternum forward, forward and up. Breathe. Lovely, and then release. Okay, we'll just push our chair away again, great. So keeping the legs straight, let's just bend our right knee. And we'll go into a little twist. So we're holding the knee either with the hand, or if we can, we're hooking the elbow, and if you can get the elbow down the outside of your leg. And we're turning. Now, we want to try and get the tummy and the left waist as close to that right leg as you can. So ideally you want no gap. So Victoria, can you close the gap? That's it. Turning, start the turn from that left hip towards the right hip. Yeah, you're going the wrong way, John, I think. You want to go the other way. That's it, yeah. So you can just have your hand on the knee to begin with, just get the height. It's only later that you bind more tightly, and then release. So we'll go the other side. So we're bending the left knee, stretching out your right leg. You can just have your hand onto that left knee and just turn. Get as much height as you can before you rotate. If you find that that's not a bother for you, you can work in a little bit tighter. Some of you can get hook the knee, some of you can get the elbow, that right elbow on the other side of the left knee. We're looking for closing the gap, bringing that right hip bone towards the left. Lovely, and release. Well done. Okay, so from there, let's just move away from our chair, or move the chair away from you, whichever. And we're bringing our, we're going to lie on the floor, bring our knees up, coming onto a cushion if you like, and just let the knees go over to the right as we roll into that left shoulder. Find the height of the knees that suits you, and we're going to just relax for a few moments. So you might feel it in the hips, or you can bring the knees higher if that feels better for you. Just check that you can keep your left shoulder down on the floor. Breathe in. So just soften into that lovely stretch. Let the belly fill with air on your inhalation. And we'll take that over to the other side. So bringing your cushions or your blocks over now to the left. Knees up, take the knees over. You can cross your top knee over your bottom one if that feels good for you. Keep the right shoulder now on the floor. Keep the ribs connecting to the spine. So don't let the ribs pull away from your spine. And just find the height that feels good for you. And we're rolling into that right shoulder. You can look along your right hand. If you want to work it, you can actively press into the floor, actively press your knees in the opposite direction to the left, and then you can just let it go passive again once you've had a nice stretch. Nice, and then from there we're going to take it into our relaxation. So you can use your chair again, those of you that know that lying on your back isn't going to be very good for your body. So you can pop your legs up on the chair. Those of you that are fine still lying on the floor, you can always put something under your knees, tucking the shoulders under. Now, if you find it difficult to relax, it's quite nice just to put your hands onto your abdomen and notice as you breathe in how the belly swells on that inhalation and sinks on the exhalation. And then you can just let the hands fall to the side. Every breath in, taking the breath to any area you might be feeling a little bit tight or sore. And as you exhale, just get a feeling of washing, sinking and dissolving that tightness into the mat, into the floor. You might notice that the more you can allow the weight of any area of your body just to sink a little bit more down into the mat, the lighter and freer that part of the body can feel. And then when we're ready, we're going to just take a deep breath, bring our awareness to our body on the mat, getting ready to move our fingers and toes. Stretch our arms and legs. Just have a good stretch. And then we're going to bring the knees up, roll onto one side to come up into our sitting. Lovely. And get a lovely, nice straight spine as we're sitting with our legs crossed. You might feel, hopefully you might feel a bit easier in your hips and knees after all that we've done today. And then we're bringing our hands together. Just feel that alignment through your spine, down through the crown and in, right down through the root. And from the root up and out through the crown. So just take a moment to feel that downward connection from crown and the upward connection through the root back up to the crown. Lovely. Thank you all.